course, it is the afternoon part of the sorry. Here's the afternoon of the bus spotting session. So, of course, and the train spotting stuff as well. So, with that said, let's go on with the video, shall we? Of course, we got Alexander via 400. So, we got 1049. But we also have another bus also on the other side. Goes. And of course, the other one's 1581 Julie Roberts on the other side. Okay, screen light. So of course we're now across, so because there are no buses of course coming down the roads at all, what Bristol Light Transport have on this cloudy afternoon, which of course is now dried up and there's no more rain, but of course it is very nice and dry, still a bit chilly of late though. Let's go have a look. Yeah, it's 10:49 mark there on 95 to Cheltenham, but we also have Alexander Svar 327 Alexander Svar followed by Scanian to 30D5969, and then downwards we also have Sisters Nos 15859, and of course Strads is 15530 also present, and of course the screen display from all the departures that you just saw very quickly before it went to talk about the Alley Court Park and Ride advert. So with all those buses now all accounted for, let's head on to back to the railway station. So of course we are now going back towards the railway station. So we will do this ASAP, double time. We've got a green light, so right. Of course, we're probably going to be met with a... No, I thought we were going to be met up with a red light. But we are over just as the Great Western Railway service to London Paddington arrives. So it's 800-030 on this one, because I could just see the number, the class of the train just as we get into here. Number 71's now leaving. So we are now, so yeah, 27707 is now leaving on the number 71. That's the ambulance over there. So on our train services, we've got the service to Cheltenham Spa by of course Transport for Wales leaving in a few minutes. We've also got the service to London Paddington running on time, the Great Western Railway Cheltenham Spa on time, Cardiff Central's running approximately 3 minutes late. And the last train, of course, is the service to Worcester Foregate Street, which is running on time. So everything is all good. So it's now time to get myself into position. C800 030s, of course, already there, waiting. Transport for Wales service is probably in the other area, so yeah, I think it's actually already there actually, but I know what train it would be. It's class 150 because I saw it earlier this morning with my own eyes on the service to Cardiff Central, which was running approximately 3 minutes late. It actually gained back a few minutes. So here we are. Of course, already there's a green light, so that means that everything's ready for the service to depart. That's the transport for us to Cheltenham Spa. But yeah, the service to Cardiff Central is running approximately 3 minutes late, so that could mean that the service to Worcester, well, actually wouldn't affect the service to Worcester Foregate Street, because the service to Worcester Foregate Street would be departing from platform 4. The 12:27 has actually lost a minute of the lateness, so it's now 2 minutes late. Can hear the Transport for Wales service rate departing. So what's our class 150? It is 150, 245. The service to Cheltenham Spa is now, of course, arriving. Is more or less in sight. Coming in very slowly, obviously. Now there's 2 more minutes until the service to Cheltenham Spa leaves. And of course I'll be needing to keep an eye on the door light. Of course, that's now up as a yellow light, which I'm sure will turn green very shortly. Yeah, at the moment it's yellow. All doors are now locked shut. Brakes releasing. Sides are good. And off it goes! I heard, of course, sound of a horn from the train. Something you definitely don't usually get. But of course the train is needing to move quite slowly, not just because this following yellow light, but it's also having to pass by the service to Cheltenham Spa, which is actually now starting to empty of passengers. The service to Cardiff Central has now gained another minute back to 3 minutes late. So, for a few minutes we are going to go back over here towards the to see the buses again before we go back towards the other area for the to see the service to Cardiff Central. She doesn't know where she's going, so we need to get across here now. Okay, so her buses across here. There's actually an Alexander Dennis Invar 200 on this service. If I go ahead, Fulham's on the 99, but it's a short wheelbase. It's right over there on the other side, along with, of course, a double-deck 5x5 stagecoach at the hub. So far everything looks quiet, but not for long, because there's 10779 Alexander December 400. There it goes. There's also an Alexander Sparford by Scanian 230 UD arriving from the left as a another Invar 400 MMC leaves. Right, now of course it's 12:23, so we need to get back to the railway station ASAP, because the the late running cross-country service will be arriving very soon, as long as I get across all these oh god, it's actually a bit busy along at the moment. 1, 2, Seems running quite slow. Okay. Back in towards the railway station we go. And back into position, ready to see the cross-country service to Cardiff Central, running 3 minutes late arriving. Service to Cheltenham Spa has now left. I can see with my own eyes it's just disappeared around the corner, heading north. Train is now, the 12:27 is now 12, expected 12:29 again. It keeps gaining that 1 minute. The Worcester Foregate Street one's being called. Train has 2 coaches, so it's probably going to be a Class 165 networker turbo, and well, of course it'll be coming from the south. So we got Alexander Esval 327 608, and I can already see the Class 165 already arrive. But of course, as I said, that train will be coming from the south, so it's coming from Bristol Temple Meads way. So, of course, it's coming in at slow speed. I can see it's the front of it's now popping into view. Here it comes. So everybody put your hands together for 165, 132. Cardiff Central service has been called out as well, but of course that, and I can already see, no, can't see it, but it, of course it would be coming in from the north. Now we're gone back to 12:30 again. So it is. So if anything, it's right outside Gloucester station. Yep, I can see the barriers being put down at Horton Road with my own eyes. Of course, seeing it is actually only a very small spectacle with my own eyes, but it goes to show how good eyesight I have. But yeah, it's the cross-country service is now right outside Gloucester station, but now it's added another minute. Now it's 12:31 that it's supposed to arrive into the station. Meanwhile, of course, everybody's will now be up and loading onto the 165, 132 to Worcester Foregate Street. keeping an eye out for that service to Cardiff Central by cross country, which of course this is of course the first one to see in like 2 weeks, because that on the 12:27, because the thing is that the other times it has actually been cancelled due to driver shortages. Yeah, the train is now in sight. It has now come round the corner and is now on the approach to the platform. Of course, going through at speed through platform 1, obviously. And now everything is now working. So everybody put your hands together for 170, 636. Coming to a perfect stop right there, but it only gives me a crucial minute to actually get to the other side before it shuts the doors and starts leaving. And speaking about leaving, there goes 10779 Alexander Varford MMC all the way back to Cheltenham. It goes. Which it will have a Great Western Railway competitor, really, which is of course the service to Worcester Foregate Street, because it stops at Cheltenham Spa. Of course, down there is of course 15874, also leaving on the service to Colford in the Forest of Dean, but it's more or less heading up against class 170, which is now departing. Sounds powerful as it leaves station. So now it just leaves us with the Worcester Foregate Street service, which only leaves in approximately 3 minutes. Another Stroud bound Envar 400 by scanning to 30Ds on the departure. So we are now, of course, heading towards to see the departure of the service to Foregate Street. Yeah, 3 minutes until it leaves. So yeah, there it is. The course right over here, waiting to depart north to Worcester in approximately 2 minutes' time. Oh, now I need to be much careful. I'm usually more careful than that. Oh well, whoopsie. So here we are waiting. Just about to see there's an Alexander Silva 300 on the number 8. One more minute until its departure, but there is a red light at the moment, so that means that the there we go. Things are down at Horton Road, and the crossing has been activated, and of course the yellow light signals come up. Brakes are released. I always think that they got the brakes right on the train simulator that I used to play, or be back to playing at some stage. They do it correctly for the class 165, 166 networkers. So there we go. Of course, leaving, but of course this leaving at a very slow speed, and the service to Bristol Temple Meads is even coming into vision, but of course is going to be stopping at platform 1, that train. I think I should have gone a little bit more right with that. So we will go across this road. Of course it's fine. And of course goes another Alexander Silva 400 by Scanian 230D heading to the forest. And of course we have 10900 on 3, I think. And that's coming in. The little MMC's now leaving. Now we're trying to go across. So yeah, different from the usual right bus ones, because that's obviously covering for an unavailable right Gemini 3 street there. There goes 10903, and we're keeping an eye out for a green light now. It's actually taken a long time to do. AKA it doesn't work, look. Never budge. There we go. Green lighted once, but not once, but twice. So yeah, that MMC is 8519, that one. That's the running number for it. Very rare sight indeed. But now, of course, I am gridlocked by the traffic. And we will now wait. So yeah, 10903 of course leads the buses inside the transport hub to start off with. Of course we also have 10753 on the next 95. Alexander Spa 327 711. Watch as we go past. Alexander Spa by Scania 15987. Leaving on the service to Newent, and 15858 a sister Alexander Spa from Scania from the Stroud division, still wearing the old gold. So that is of course the transport hub's final sweep. As I of course exit the transport hub and on the way up Clarence Street. Of course we do have 22748. It's on there, 300 by Manning, 2240. We're ready to depart. We also got a sister 22751, also on number 8 duties. Being followed by 37325. Well, this is where I have to go backwards a little to allow this 12.3 metre plus behemoth, and now let's say we can go across here. Okay. Of course 37325 looks good in the corporate library. So we were now heading up Clarence Street. Of course, being careful and watchful and wary of others. Of course, there is Alexander Savath by Scania N250 UD number 15366 Graham McAvoy at the very end of the here. We also have Garfunkel Scania N230D put hands together 5873 heading towards Transport Hub, which of course after visiting the Transport Hub will of course head back out. I think that was 32, so it's head back to Newent. But yeah, Graham McAvoy's there. But there's also another Alexander Spa 200. You right?
Yeah.
Just another bus enthusiast guy. There's also Alexander Spa 23628. Of course it is off duty, not in service, and probably heading back towards the bus depot once it's done here. So, final thing is, of course, if there's any buses around this corner, which from the left there's none, and from the right we see more or less an empty street. So that about wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. As usual, if you like my live streams of my trains and buses in Gloucester, remember to like, subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you never miss any future uploads, and don't forget to look at all my general content stuff, including the Gloucester electric bus rollout in January 2026. Trust me, you have never seen a video like it. So with that said, thank you for watching my X-Files, and I'll see you again next time. Sluggards!